India versus Bharat? Is new India discovering a more rooted Indian identity? Is the question I want to pose. Respond to that, Professor Mukherjee.
When I heard Rajatji, I could almost see that how we are moving, what direction we are moving in. The way in which he described the entire Mughal period, and that is why, as you know, the Mughal period has been removed from our history textbooks, etc., as one of continuous atrocities. It's an imagination, it's a memory being created which did not exist. Do remember that the 1857, the first war of independence, which everybody is talking about, who did the Hindu Brahmin soldiers, etc., included? Who did they go to and say that we want to throw out the British? They went to Bahadur Shah Zafar, the Mughal emperor. There wasn't. This is a new feeling. This is a historical memory being created of this Muslim atrocities for thousands of years. This is what it was said about the Somnath, that the destruction of the Somnath for 1,000 years seared the psyche of the Hindus. Nothing of the kind happened. 250 years after the destruction of the Somnath, the temple authorities there gave a Muslim trader the right to build a mosque in the temple properties. This memory of Somnath destruction by Muhammad of Ghazni is an invention again in the 19th century. The first time it is mentioned is in the British Parliament.
So you believe that the Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb... No, 1 minute. Professor Mukherjee, you seem to believe that the Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb is real. It exists. Am I correct?
That is India. That is India. Yes, that is what is India, and what they're doing is trying to destroy that. And create a vision which is not our civilizational practice.
I will give Rajat a quick intervention and then go to Professor Makhanlal. You're saying the Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb is the essence of India. You want to respond again to that, Rajat? And then I'll go to Professor.
So Professor Mukherjee is I think he's the Dean of the Center for Historical Studies and Contemporary India. And I wonder what would the students be learning from him if he's the one who's teaching. Sorry, I don't want to make a personal remark.
Let's not make personal remarks. Please, no personal remarks.
You've conveniently, do you think, sir, Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb is when you come in and plunder our temples, take away the loot from our nation? Is that Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb? Sir, please, you can keep that Tehzeeb with you. We don't believe in that Tehzeeb. Do I need to quote historians here and Indologists here who've come in and studied the Mughal rule in detail? Let me quote Nicholas Gere. Should I? He clearly said, and I'll quote him. Nicholas Gere, let me quote him. He said, the minor insults of Islam on the Islam or disrespect for Islamic sites pale in comparison to the great destructions of temples and general persecution of Hindus by the Mughals for 500 years. These are not Indian accounts or BJP's accounts. And I'm just quoting one historian.
Can I for a moment? Can I for a moment, since I used the word Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb, Professor Mukherjee, you want to quickly define what Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb means, and then I'll bring Professor Makhanlal.
Yeah. I want to make 2 points. One is that in the pre-modern times, across religions, there were destructions of temples. There were many Hindus who destroyed large number of Buddhist temples. One sect of Hindus destroyed another sect of the temples and mosques, etc. This kind of thing is a very different thing from what we are talking about. Let us not mix that up. And certainly, as I said, the civilizational value of our country, the reason why this country survives is our ability to see change, to absorb it, to assimilate, to learn, as Nehru says, like a palimpsest, and without erasing anybody else. That is what it has been. And Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb is precisely that. It is the evolution of a very high culture.
Give me an example. Give me an example which for you. Give me an example, Professor, that defines it today. Contemporary India.
I can give you several examples. Take the Wajid Ali Shah. Take the Hindustani. One of the there are 2 courses on musicology taught on his contribution to Indian music. and to Indian dance, to Bharatnatyam, to Kathak, So what I'm trying to say is that if you look at our music, take this छाप तिलक जिसने लिखा है यार Amir Khusro, his songs written are sung till today, 600, 700 years later, across the Ganga Jamni region, in Bangladesh, in India,
and
in
do you
Pakistan.
Understand what Chhap Tilak मुँह से छीन लेनी?
Do
you understand the literal meaning of that? It is
of
about
course.
typing out the Burman.
There are many
it is about
interpretations.
Talking about
You will have your understanding, and that is why you think all the Hindus and Muslims and everybody sing it. That is your interpretation.
Was Nizam's rule?
This is not
the Muslim rulers of our
the
country.
whole world.
Was Nizam's rule a Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb?
Okay,
I ask you, Professor.
Can I
No, Rajdeep, don't deflect. He has no answers. This fake concept creation was a 3-decade project.
I'll give
we
you
all
an answer.
Understand from the 50s, 60s, and the 70s, historians
I'll give
were
you an
created literally around these sense
Okay,
of
let him respond.
crystallization
Rajat,
of
you've
ideas,
asked a
which had no
question.
basis.
You've asked a question. Let him respond. Yes, Professor Mukherjee.
I'll just say that if you want, what is your project? What does a historian do? If you want to, the reason why all history is called contemporary history is that what is it that you're going to pick up from history to explain your contemporary, your present, and to look at the future. If you want to create hatred and if you want to create a certain kind of society, you will pick.
See,
I mean, it is not that there has been no atrocity in the past. Of course, there has been. Let me finish. 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 But on the other hand, if you want to create a society which is multicultural, which is humane, then you will draw from your own history, and there is enough to draw from. Right from the Rig Veda onwards, through the Upanishads, through Buddhism, where the notion of multiple truths is there. I mean, that is what India is famous for. The acceptance of multiple truths, the alternate routes to truth, etc. Now, that is what we will draw from. We will draw from, as I said, from the Upanishads, from the Rig Veda. We will draw from Buddha. We will draw from Akbar. We will draw right through. And that is the tradition we want to pursue.
Okay.